Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 404. Hopefully, you guys have had a great beginning to your weekend. Mine went off pretty damn good. Got a great guest for you tonight, Growers Paradise. How you doing? Tell us how you're doing, and of course, where we can find you, sir.
All right. Well, I'm doing great. You guys can find me on Instagram at Gross Paradise 420. You can also find me on YouTube. I do a lot of lives with a bunch of friends of ours, Also on YouTube, Gross Paradise 420, real easy to find. So yeah, that's one of the main places you can find me. I'm usually live almost every single night. I have a real good close buddy of mine, the 420 Grow Tent. I grew up with the kid. We had our partners for a long time, but growing cannabis actually brought us back together. So
right on. I recognize that name as well from the chat.
Yep.
So
he's well known in the growing community. We have a tight little group around here. I've come to learn a lot on YouTube from a lot of really good growers. I've met people from all over the world now, that are just excellent growers that give great advice. It's only making me become a better grower, which is totally awesome.
So what time do you go live?
So the 420 Grow Tent, he does 2 lives a day. He's usually on about 11 o'clock in the afternoon. He'll go for 4 or 5 hours at a time, and then he'll take a break, and then he'll come back on at 11 o'clock and go to 2 o'clock in the morning. And we'll sit, we'll talk, we'll show our grows off, we'll smoke some weed, we'll just shoot the shit and just kind of hang out.
Well, I'd suggest the earlier seeing how the other one conflicts with mine, but
Yeah.
I'm sure the daytime episode's great.
Yeah, no, the nighttime episode's pretty good too, but I don't usually last for more than a couple hours because everybody's going real hard on the dabs, and about an hour and a half in, I want to go to bed.
Heard that. So, did you bring something to smoke on tonight?
Did I bring something to smoke on? He says. Yeah, I got all sorts of stuff. Like I said, I grow my own. So this is the Mimosa Evo that I grew. That became beautiful. Got some nice pretty buds.
Nice.
So yeah,
nice and solid.
Yeah, nice solid buds. I grew. Actually, we just harvested about a month ago, roughly. I did the Skywalker, the Mimosa Evo, the Bubba Kush. I did a Jack Herrera, and I did a Pineapple Express. And I ended up this round. I decided I was going to do a breeding project, so I feminized my Skywalker and let it pollinate the garden. So I have a bunch of crazy crosses. I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go through those and find out how well they come out. The Bubba Kush was very, very beautiful. It was a dark burgundy red in late flower. So anyway, so my little journey, how I got hooked up with starting to smoke the good stuff here. We're gonna travel back to 2002, back when I was a freshman in high school. I just gotten my license, and I was given rides back and forth from school to my buddy's house, and lo and behold, one day the kid shows up with a joint. We're blazing the joint all the way to school. Got freaking stupid high. I was like I couldn't even get out of the damn car when we were done. We got to the school, and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go to school now." So, anyways, went through the day. I was like, you know what? I kind of like that high. I really enjoyed it from then on out. So, I became a stoner. Always been a stoner, but not till recently, till Massachusetts passed the law that it legalized it, is when I really got into growing my own. So I was always interested in growing, but I didn't really know enough about growing cannabis to really to start it on my own. But when I lived in Worcester, I linked up with this guy who was the receiver that I was working with. And we became real good friends, and we started hanging out, and I started going over his house. And lo and behold, he was a grower. He was also a caretaker for, I don't know, 20 or 30 people. So, I was always going over there, poking his brain, asking all sorts of questions, like figuring out how he grows it, what way he grows it, and he literally just like took me under his wing and showed me everything he did. He got me started. And when I was done and set up in my room, I started off with a 2x4 tent, and he told me the light that I should get, and I went with a T5 8 bulb. It was like a 400-watt light. And he was like, just come back when you're ready for some clones. He's like, I'll get you some clones. Well, lo and behold, the clones belong to the Mendo Dope Boys. And that was the very first strain that I actually started to grow, which was awesome. They grew quite well. I did pretty good for my first time grow. Can't complain. But that doesn't mean that I was perfect all the way out throughout. We all make mistakes when we're first learning to grow. I ran into powdery mildew a couple times. I made the big no mistake of taking a friend's outdoor plant cut and bringing it to an indoor grow. That's a no. Ended up in bugs. That ruined a crop. But you live and you learn. I was always upgrading. I was after I got bit by the first grow and actually got a harvest and was able to smoke my own, I was in. I was committed 100%. I went with one tent, I did one grow, wasn't enough. I got a second tent, a second light. You know what I mean? And I did back and forth. I was running 6 plants in a tent, and I had a veg tent, flower tent, and that still quite wasn't enough for me. You know what I mean? I was still kind of behind on schedule, so I got a smaller tent just for doing clones and cuttings and seedlings. And then this year, I went all in. I upgraded to 4x4s this time. I grabbed 2 of them. I spent some real good money on some lighting, better ventilation, better fans, way more room to grow a lot more, and it's, last harvest was, I don't know, I'd have to say it was probably one of my best harvests with no issues. I was quite impressed. Quite impressed this run.
So, are you in soil or cocoa? Did you throw that out there? And I didn't catch it?
So, I went with the same method as my buddy did. So, my first round, I started going to cocoa, and I didn't understand how to treat cocoa. I used it because I was like, oh, it's a great medium to grow in. Yeah, well, what I failed to realize is that, you have to kind of flush out the other salts that build up, you know what I mean? And I wasn't flushing them out. So I started one of my grows, I cooked a couple of the plants, but I learned very quickly on how to correct that. So now I'm in a cocoa drained away system. So I have watering rings set up on a grid pattern drip system, pretty much hooked up to a reservoir. So when I need to feed them, I just plug in or push the pump on for however long. I just wait for the water to come out the bottom and shut the pump off, and get about a 20% runoff, and I'm good. They get real good, vigorous growth by doing that, because it's technically a hydroponic setup. I'm not fully hydroponic, but I'm in a hydroponic medium, and I can treat it like hydroponics.
That's what I've always loved about cocoa myself. It is the closest you can get to hydroponics without the mess and the headache of hydroponics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, because real hydroponics dealing with water can be very finicky. It can be very overwhelming if you don't know what you're really doing. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes in there, and there's a lot to break. You know, if your timers screw up, you can kill a plant. You know, if you lose a solenoid, you know, you can kill a plant. You know, it doesn't take a lot to fuck up in hydro. Whereas cocoa acts like a soil, but it's very forgiving. You know, if you screw up and say, "Oh, I fed this plant too much and it's starting to burn on me," you know, it's as easy as running a few gallons of water through your cocoa, and it flushes the rest of that nutrients out real fast because it doesn't hold on to the nutrients like soil does.
Yeah, it is a pretty forgiving medium. What brand of cocoa do you run? Do you have a preference?
I do have a preference. This time I'm trying something different, but I was just going with like the no name, you know, knockoff cocoa. I tried that. That was okay. You know, it was eh. I was running into a lot of CalMag issues. You know, I had to keep feeding it more CalMag because it wasn't really enough. So I went to the store and I found Nectar of the Gods #2, which has got the CalMag blended in with it. And I kind of really, really like that. That was this grow that I threw that in, and I was very impressed with it. I didn't have barely any CalMag deficiencies. It grew fabulous, you know. My Skywalker went a little deficiency, but I mean, I corrected it in a week. So I mean, I can't be. Like I said, I couldn't be happier with that style of medium, you know.
Did you mention what kind of newts you're feeding it?
Oh yeah, no, I did. I thank you for reminding me about that. No, so right now I started off by using general hydroponics. I hit my buddy up and I said, you know, what's a good general nutrients to use? You know, that's something simple that I can use that'll help, you know, grow the plants. And he recommended the general hydroponics, something real simple. The micro, the grow, and the bloom. I used that for a while, you know, and I liked how that went. So after a couple grows, I decided to look into seeing, you know, can I add more into my nutrients and make it up better? You know, can I make it grow better? And sure as shit, so I decided to go with General Hydroponics' entire lineup, which is 13 bottles to be mixed into, you know, whatever size reservoir I decide to make it up in. But, you know, after doing that for about a year or two, I got real sick of it. So just recently, I've now switched over to Floraflex, just the powder nutrients. So it's only a 2-part. I don't have to make up 13 bottles anymore, which is awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well this Floraflex nutrients does for me.
The multi-damn bottles, they always fucking get you. It seems like they've made the recipe just so, like, when you're thinking about giving it up, you're like, you got to buy another bottle, and then you're like,
yeah,
fuck, I'm halfway through that bottle, so I might as well keep going until I run out.
But I did the same thing. It's like, you know, after I started getting rid of the quart size bottles, I got sick and tired, you know, of buying a $30 bottle, like, you know, every couple months or so, you know. So I bit the bullet and just spent the money and bought gallons of it. Well, then after using it for so long, I'm so tired of mixing up so much nutrients. You know, it takes me forever to make up a batch of nutrients for my plants. Whereas, you know, my new stuff, it goes, I dump a few scoops of powder into it, let it mix around, and I'm done. Maybe pH it, but this stuff wicked stable. When I'm done mixing it, it's usually steadily anywhere from a 6.0 to a 6.3 is where that usually lands at, which is almost perfect for cocoa. So this round, man, I got I was gonna do 9. I don't have 9. I've got 7 going at the moment. I've got a purple Skittles. I've got a forbidden panty glue. I've got one of the 420 grow tents. I've got one of his purple cream. It's one of his genetics that he crossed. It's a very pretty plant. What else do I've got in there? Oh, I've got a UK cheese. I've got a blueberry and 2 Arctic monster badges. That's what's going in flower right now. My veg tent is a mess. I've got a little bit of everything going on there. I've got 6 autos going in there right now. I've got a blueberry white widow from overseas going. I've got a regular blueberry going. I've got 2 freak show duckfoots going from offensive genetics. I've got a couple more different kinds of the 420 grow tents genetics. What he calls his dark night. It's a really dark purple plant when it grows in flower. Who else do I got? Oh, TNT's genetics. I got Diesel Sauce and Death Star. So, along with 20 clones going. So it's busy. It's a busy like veg tent. Yeah. Now, what do you got growing?
It's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. I've got a little bit of everything going over here. I've got some the Columbium from North Star. I've got a strain called the Tiger King going. I've got the Xmas going. I've got still a couple testers from Medgoer 1 popping in the garden, as well as testers from Empire Breeding Co. Nice. And there's a bunch of stuff floating around here. A few different phases.
All right. Now let me flip the script on you. How did you get started?
Oh man, I've told this story way too many times. Way too many times. Basically, I got tired of fucking paying for it. You know, I used to hustle some bud there for a long, long time. I had kids. The lady I was with was like, no more hustling bud, but still kind of put together, you know, somebody's sacks for some buddies. It's still with the taste that we had, smoking the better bud, man. We were smoking a zip a week, man. A zip a week. That's $800 a month, man. $800 a month. That adds up, man. Yeah. I said, no, I don't care what it costs to run those lights. How I'm gonna get them? It's got to be fucking cheaper than this right here. Well,
absolutely. I was the same way. I'm like, you know, I'm so done paying even to this day. Shit, you know, I do spend a lot of money on growing, though. I'm always trying to make my grow better. You know, the money I make goes like kind of back into what I love to do. You know, which is I love to grow now. It's fun. You know, and I have a full-time job on top of it, so it's like double whammy jobs, I guess, but. I've got my flower tent down to, you know, if I really needed to be on a timer, I could totally set it up on a timer. But I'm usually home enough where I can just feed them, you know, before they even get too dry.
So, the Mendo Dope Boys. Yeah, that was your first run there. That's pretty impressive.
It was very impressive.
Like that.
So the way that we ended up with the seeds, he ended up giving me a package, but he was telling me the story that we have a freedom rally for cannabis, and it's called the Boston Freedom Rally now. It used to be called Hemp Fest, but it's the Boston Freedom Rally. Everybody from all over the world, you know, people make edibles, seeds, whatever. But the Mendo Dope Boys happen to be headlining that day. and they were taping their genetics to the bottom side of a Frisbee and whipping them into the crowd. So my buddy ended up, scooping up a couple of those, and then he grew them out. So it's Mendo Dope was their strains. They still have it. And then they had two other ones that he gave me, which was Alien Rift and Space Assassin. So those were the three strains that I grew. I vegged them too damn long in a little 2x4 by 5-foot tent. I tried to veg them out for 6 weeks, and they got way too big in flower. I mean, I had to scrog them way the hell down, keep them low, because I only had them about like 2 inches away from the light. They grew bigger than I wanted them to, but they still came out awesome. So I was actually just talking to somebody, seeing if I could maybe get my hands on some more of their genetics. They want a lot of money for the genetics. They're not cheap.
No, well, it's a lot of work though. This is the way I see the prices change. Seeds is man, a lot of those work goes into that if you're doing it correctly, man. You're talking years into putting a strain out there. So you put years into something, power, nutrients, as we talked about, and then hope it's gonna take off. I mean,
yeah,
you got to recoup. And there's got I don't. When it comes to that, and again, for what you could do with it, again, possibly hold it for the rest of your life if it's that one. Well, I mean, how many things can you buy and keep for the rest of your life? Especially for the $50 to $100 range and keep for the rest of your life. Shit,
right?
That's nothing.
I mean, that's kind of like I've noticed such a market for seeds now. That's why me and the 420 Grow Tent are gonna try to start our own little seed company. Where this is the beginning of our breeding projects that we're doing. I started it off with the Skywalker crosses, and I was so in love with the way they grew, So we're gonna find out if I can get the nice big structure of the Skywalker, but I want the beautifulness of the Bubba Kush or the Gelato or even the fucking Mimosa Evo to fucking transfer over. So if I can get a real tall, like purple plant, that's the key. That's the pheno I want. But like I said, if you know anything about breeding, it's gonna take a lot of work. I gotta find it and I gotta back cross it.
So, what did you learn from that first round to the second round, if you don't mind me asking? What did you learn? What did you change from 1 to 2?
This is the first round. I haven't even popped them yet, so they're brand spanking new. I literally just got done harvesting them. So when I guess I got a couple more rounds of other plants that I want to get done. But we're kind of in correlation with each other. So he's got my Skywalker pollen that I need eventually to do my back crossing with when I find the pheno that I want. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
That was what it kind of referring
yeah,
to.
back and forth, kind of back and forth. Yep. He's got the auto breeding going on right now. He's got a super silver haze. I think it's a silver haze. Maybe it's just a silver haze. He's got a silver haze male, and he's pollinating a Yumbolt auto with it. So he's making some auto silver haze Yumbolt. I don't know what he's gonna call it. It's gonna be a wild mix. But I guess the Yumbolt came out quite yummy. Now, do you have a favorite strain that you like to grow?
Oh no, I'm not. I don't invest too deeply in the strains anymore. They come and go. I'm working my way through whatever I can work my way through. Shit, right about now, I'm checking into somewhere right around 300 strains popped. I found some gems throughout the way, but it's nothing, you know. I haven't found that one yet. I haven't found that one yet. I've kept a few over the years for a few years. I kept the 9-pound hammer for a while. Drill time I kept for a bit, and a few others. But I tend to work my way through them. I was a tester for a long time, so I tend to, keep working through. On average, I hold 15 to 20 strains at any one time. So, but when something better comes, something goes. There's times where I wipe the whole damn thing out just to start anew, or at least part of it, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of like, I was always interested in that, that freak show plant, but it was like, oh, it doesn't produce shit, but it's one of those things where it's like, I just have to grow it, I just have to. I don't care if it produces shit or not. I just want to say that I grew freak show. And that was also this round too. Is like I'm growing Pineapple Express because, well, who doesn't want to fucking smoke Pineapple Express? And then at the time, the Skywalker OG was the big hooting and hollering thing at the time. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about fucking the Skywalker OG and how awesome it was. So, well, of course, I have to try the Skywalker OG. I had to grow
that. So have you grown out the cookies?
Say again?
Have you grown out the cookies as well? You a cookie fan?
Yes.
Gorilla Glue?
Yep. I've done the GG4. Yep. What else did we do?
Either one of those?
We did a couple of sour. I've done the Sour Diesel, the Granddaddy Perps, the Purple Cushes, Pure Cushes, like Buddy's Crosses. That's all pretty much Pure Cushes. I really like the Kush for some reason. It's always got a great taste.
Yeah, the Cushes are pretty good. And an OG, the original OG that just was day wrecking. Day wrecking, man. You couldn't do nothing with that shit, man. You would cripple that for smoking that
shit. You want to hear day wrecking? Oh my god. So I don't know if you know. Do you know Nexus? Nexus has been kind of in the cannabis community. He likes to come on our lives a lot. He's like a hemp farmer. He's a teacher. This guy grows 25-foot tall trees of marijuana. This guy harvests like 15 pounds off one plant. It's mind blowing. This guy is so knowledgeable. But after getting to know him, he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna send Justin over the deadhead that's been back crossed 87 times and is now producing 52% THC. The original deadhead. It holds the record for most THC right now.
So, well, how are the describe the effects of 52?
There's zero. THC. It's been back crossed so many times. It's got zero CBD in it. It's nothing but pure THC. And from what I understand is if I cross it into a strain that has CBD, it'll knock it down to about a 32% THC range.
Man, sounds super potent. Super potent. What's it?
Yeah, he says it. He says it's stupidly strong.
How's it taste?
I don't know. I'm curious. I mean, if it grows anything like I've seen, I mean, it could be a monster. I mean, this guy's got, like Coke bottles like hanging off these branches. I think he said his main cola weighed 15 ounces. Yeah, Yeah, I think that was about right. I think it's the main call he said. just the main call.
15 ounces?
What's that? Yeah,
Holy
15
shit,
ounces.
almost.
15 ounces just for the top cola. Like I said, this guy produces like 15 pounds of plant.
It's outdoor?
I guess not really. It's in his greenhouse. And he feeds it every day. I think it's in like a 30-gallon pot. But I mean, he's got trees trunks like this big that go all the way up about 25 feet. He says he has to be on like a 15-foot ladder to get to the top of them or something like that. Yeah. If you haven't checked out Nexus, go check out him. He's quite the grower. He's impressive.
Check that out.
He has this. He has one single plant, and I think it's on a 10-gallon. I want to say it's on a 10-gallon. And he's got it scrogged out, taking up a 5x5 tent. I mean, he knows how to grow. I'll give him that. He's quite the grower. But he also works at a university, and he can do lab testing and all sorts of crazy shit.
So, what was your first experience with? I mean, I think you skimmed over it right there. When did you exactly? I know it was 2002. You mentioned. Was that the first time you actually got high? Freshman
That
year?
was the first time I
What was
actually
the strain?
got high. So we were on the way to school, and we were just kind of passing around a joint, whatnot, and I took a few drinks, and I wasn't sure if I was high or not. I kind of sat there, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel any different, And they were like, look at me, and my eyes were bloodshot and shit, and they're like, yeah, you're stoned as fuck. And I'm like, okay, sure, this is how it is. Okay, cool. And we just it became like, a daily thing, we'd be sneaking out during lunchtime, like smoking joints, ripping bowls, just getting high before class. Just being a rebel. It was, and once I had once I ran over to my uncle's house, and he has this giant garden. He's got this plant that's like 12 foot round, it's like 8 foot high. It's just this massive bush. And he was showing it off to me. I'm like, that's it. Done. We're growing, and we're growing this weekend. I'm running out, and I'm grabbing everything I need. Plants are going outside, and I'm doing indoors. Last year we did real good. I got 6 foot tall plants last year. I think I got at least 2 pounds.
Right, outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors. And I don't really do shit to them. I just throw them in the ground and water them. I let nature take its course.
What strains do you have out there? Which ones you throw out there?
Oh God, I don't even remember what the hell I threw out there last year. I think it was a bunch of pure cushions. I think there was some cushions in there. Purple kush, granddaddy purple, some sour diesel, tangerine, digital dream. I think it was another one that was in there. That was the 420 grow intense. That was one of his re-veges. Yeah, I mean, I have so many genetics now that I want to run that, it's just going to take time. Takes. I mean, I got T&T's genetics over there. He's got my Baja Blast times Max 1. Mac 1 is one of my favorite strains, or smoking wise, is one of my favorites.
That's a good one. Not very good producer, but a good strain.
Yeah.
I missed your question there.
Oh, sorry. I was like, do you have a favorite kind of smoke?
I like currently I'm trying to chase down the pines. I like the
you're going for the
like gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's starting to make a comeback.
Bring back.
Everybody's really searching for those pine females.
Real nostalgic for me. I can't wait to I was talking about that the other night. Trying to catch something that brought me back to the high school days, that super laughy kind of weed.
Oh yeah.
Besides that, pine's are good anyway. Yeah. They're good to kind of clean up the lungs too. Clean the lungs and head up, man. You know, the pine for me, 1, kind of clear-headed, 2, good mood. You know, giggly type with pines. So that's what I'm looking for these days. So, you do anything else with your? You do anything with your? I'd say trim. You know, your leftovers, make some bubble hash, make some
absolutely. So what I do is I blast my trim. So I try to use as much of the plant as I can. You know what I mean? I make sure that I can use everything and strip everything off that I can possibly can. So I learned the blasting technique through the buddy that I learned to actually grow with. He taught me the quick method. You know, he taught me the cheap quick method, but I decided to go. You know, I went all in about the nice stainless steel tube setup. And then a few cases of butane, you know, blasted that way. I put it into my vacuum chamber for about, you know, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours it could take. You know, on a low heat. You know, try not to get it over like 105 degrees. You know, real low. Let it go. You end up with shatter. Actually, give me 2 seconds, and I'll show you what the shatter I made is. I just made this the other day.
Pretty nice jump.
Yeah, 20 grams. I don't even know how much I blasted. I did like 3 rounds.
Came out really good, giving you some props.
Yeah.
Cool dude right there, ready to hit that high five.
That high five.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate it, ready?
So, where do you believe your cannabis journey is going to take you here in the future? Where do you see yourself going with this thing?
You know, I really hope that we start getting some of this genetics. You know, maybe our own seed company and our own genetics going. You know, and I really hope it kind of takes off. You know, to the point where I don't really have to work much. You know, if I can rely on making seeds and producing them and selling them if I could, selling good genetics. I'd like to become a really good seed breeder, actually. Yep. I'd like a warehouse where I could grow as much as I want. I would love to do an awesome hydroponic, like floor setup, but that would be the ultimate dream to have. Would be like a almost like a dispensary grade grow going on. I've always been interested in maybe working
So,
in
is there any
somewhat.
strains in particular?
Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, the delay is a little bit real choppy on my end.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was gonna ask, is there any strains in particular you are interested in working with in the future?
No, I'm still kind of experimenting with strains right now. I'm the phenotypes that I'm looking for really are like the real purpley buds. I'm looking for a pretty garden. But when it goes into flower, I just want to see the reds and the yellows and the purples and whatever colors they may turn. I want to see a nice, beautiful garden, nice purple buds. That's what I'm striving for. When I start crossing and what I'm really looking for.
What do you like about herbs in particular?
Say that again.
What do you like about the perps in particular? Is it just the bag appeal? Is it what kind of church comes with the perp flowers?
Yeah, I think it's just the appeal, the look. I mean, I'm also, if I can get them to taste real tasty, that'd be and also a real plus. My buddy has one that's got like a cream and berry pheno that would be a real nice touch to add to almost anything. But to see if that could be a while to find that terpene profile. A lot of smoking, a lot of hunting. It's all part of growing. And it's also a slow process, if you can only really flower 9 at a time, I mean, that's still a decent amount, but breeding takes a while. It takes generations, like you said.
Oh, so is that all you can have? I mean, what is the veg like? Is it what is the Massachusetts law like?
What is Massachusetts law like? They are very, very, very lenient. Actually, you can drive with 2 ounces in the car as long as it's not within reach of your grasp, I guess. I can grow 12 plants legally. What else can we do? Yeah, yeah, 12 plants if as long as there's two adults in a household. So everything else is pretty much fair game. It's up. I think if you get caught high, I don't know if they can. It's a DUI if you get caught driving high, but I don't know if they can actually prove that you're high.
That was going to be my next question. There, do they have a good a testing method there yet?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got some real good dispensaries down here. They're just freaking. They are so expensive. I for a while I had to when I was in between harvests and I needed weed. I had to go to the dispensary. It's very expensive, actually. I think I paid for a half ounce close to $300. Yeah, it's like $60 an eighth. I think it's like $60 an eighth on there. Yeah, from the dispensary. It's
That's
$80.
pretty insane.
It's $80 a gram of wax.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's very
That's
expensive.
insane.
Yeah,
That's still cowboy.
this is
That's
why
still
I make
cowboy.
my and this is why I make my own. You know, I can make 20 grams with like $10 of butane.
So what does it take to get the 20 grams so for in like say wow?
So I have an inch and a half by 2 foot tube. I think it holds about 2 ounces of trim, roughly, maybe an ounce and a half. I did that about 3 times. So 2, 4, maybe about 6 ounces of trim. Got me about 20 grams.
That's not bad.
You know?
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean, I could have probably done a whole nother run too with the leftover trim, but I actually ran out of butane. So I'll have to either get more butane, but I've been hearing a whole lot of good stuff about this Pure 322 pure organic solvent. Have you heard about that?
I have not. I have not.
So it's supposed to be a lot healthier than using butane. It's an organic solvent. And I guess it acts just like butane for blasting wise. Kind of like specifically designed for blasting, I guess. So it's kind of expensive though. But the cans are massive. They are pretty good size. I think it's like $10 a can or something like that. Or close to it, like $8 a can. I wonder if it would work the same way if I put it in a vacuum chamber. It says you don't need to, apparently. You can just let it air purge.
That's pretty
You can't really air purge butane.
Yeah. Yeah, I had heard about that. I don't do any blasting. Back when it was earwax, we were calling it earwax back then.
Like this is the funny stuff blast, is. You know, it's like gooey. It's golden, it looks good, but it's I don't know why when I blast with butane and I do the heat method in the vacuum chamber, why I always end up with shatter. You know what I mean? He always ends up with this gooey mess.
So how long you been making the shatter there?
Yeah, no, it might be just how long I've been cooking it for, but you know.
How long you been making it? That's was basically what I was asking.
How long I've been doing it for?
Yeah.
I got into blasting about a year ago. Once I found out like how much, how easy it was to make your own concentrate, you know what I mean, with a little bit of money. And I think I spent like maybe 150, $200, for the equipment I needed, and I spent $40 on a case of butane to make a whole bunch of wax. It just made logical. Why would I pay $80 for a gram when I can triple that? I can make money off of it if I wanted to. So yeah, I got after I found out how much it was to make, how much it was going to cost to buy concentrate. I just decided to make my So I watched YouTube videos just to make sure I knew how to do it. And it was pretty straightforward, you know. I talked to my buddy and he was like, oh, just add some coffee filters on the end. You know, clap them on, you'll be all set. Blast away. Just let it evaporate off, scrape it up, put it on some parchment paper, throw it in the vacuum chamber for, I don't know, like I said, 10, 12 hours, however long you think it takes. Pull it out, presto chango. You end up with shadow.
Yeah, I've always made bubble myself. I prefer the bubble.
Yeah. I've never tried making bubble. That's the one thing I haven't tried. I just heard it's a long process.
It's a lot longer than blasting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Blast
You gotta let it dry
the
for
quickest
days.
way you can go about it.
How long does it take bubble hash to dry? Days?
Yeah, last time I made some, I actually put it in my herbs now dryer, and it was ready the next day. Ready for smoke, almost for storage in a day.
Okay.
I don't think it affected it any. I wasn't. There's people that try that before me, but it definitely didn't bother me at all. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, what is that? Shatter your favorite? Do you prefer rosin?
I really actually prefer the pressed rosin. But I do like my shadow, you know what I mean? Like, but there's nothing better than watching, you know, when you're pressing, just watching just the oils run out of the bud all over the paper, you know. Nothing more cleaner than that. But I don't mind, you know. I mean, I know my shadow's really pure because, like I said, I purged that shit for almost 24 hours, so there should be absolutely nothing left in that fucker.
Oh, so what besides cannabis? What do you enjoy doing with your time?
What size? What?
What besides cannabis do you enjoy doing with your time?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't get much free time. I do work Monday through Friday. I got the plants to deal with. Um, Saturday and Sunday is my days that I can deal with them, kind of. But what else do I do? But I do enjoy going to the Cape. uh,
So, could you tell me, are there some strains, Massachusetts native strains there that you would call, famous? What's fire out in Massachusetts?
I don't know if Mass actually has any of their own strains, really. I mean, I'm sure there are. I know a lot of the strains from the dispensary are from well-known genetics. I'm pretty sure. Because I mean, their shit, the dispensary shit is like out of this world good. You know, fucking shit comes out and it's like white, hard, dense nuggets. You know, it's always beautiful when I get it, but not at $60 an eighth. Thank you. You know,
I can't believe that. Still, them kind of prices there. Holy cow!
you know what I mean? But that's pretty much the same quality, you know. Look at it. I got a hell
Definitely an impressive note.
I got a whole that's the whole top goal. A whole bunch of those.
What strain is that there?
This is the Mimosa Evo.
And then most is supposed to be fire. Yet to have that one.
My Bubba Kush. I mean, they still came out big, even though I seeded the freaking hell out of them. Every one of these buds is loaded up with seeds.
Nice. So you think your seeded buds any stronger or weaker than your sensitive flower of the same strain?
Say again?
You think your seeded flowers any stronger or weaker than your same strain, sensitive?
It's probably weaker because it was more of focusing on seed production instead of bud production. But I mean, it still is good. It was still frosty as hell, It didn't get seeded like horrendously, but it's definitely, definitely has seeds in it. I knocked a lot of them out already when I did the ball trimming. I mean, I have an entire safe over there full of bags. And I mean, bags of seeds. I've got a few thousand. Well,
sounds like a lot of pheno hunting
I won't.
there, my friends.
Technically, I wouldn't have to run. Like, I wouldn't have to buy another goddamn seed in my life if I wanted to.
That's a good feeling.
But that'll be part of my like I said, it's gonna be part of my breeding project. So I gotta hunt down my pheno. My prized pheno.
So what's is the prize strain in the garden currently?
What's that? What's a prize strain?
Yeah, what's your favorite in the garden currently?
This round, I'm gonna have to say the gelato came out really well, and so did my Jack Herrera. The Jack Herrera stinks. Like so gassy. It came out really fluffy, but it stinks.
Unfortunately, I find like the super loud, good for extract strains are a little lettucey like that,
Right?
or can be lettucey. I don't know what it is.
A little bit of Pineapple Express I got left.
Man, I miss that girl. It's a good one right there, that Pineapple Express.
She wasn't a very big girl. I want to try to grow her again. She was tiny. I mean, she was tiny, and then I went and pollinated the fucking hell out of her because the branch that I pollinated was like just smashing all over her, and the fan was blowing down onto her. And I'm like, oh man, she got very seedy. That's why I only ended up with very little bit. The rest of it was seeds. And I'm sure there's more in there.
Yeah, that's a pretty greasy strain, that Pineapple Express. It's the one I have. Super
Yeah.
greasy.
Oh, come here. That's my gelato. It's like rock hard dense nose. It's almost like a sour milk.
Who would you say one of your favorite breeders are today?
Favorite breeders? Ooh. I really like Humboldt's, the Humboldt Seed Company. They are really, really good. Ethos are really good. Those are two tops that I like. We're gonna find
everything I've grown from that Ethos has been fucking almost. I question what everything I've got from Ethos, man. That shit's been had so much bigger.
Yeah,
it's questionable. I don't know, man. It is very vigorous here.
Yeah, but I mean,
what's your favorite strain from them?
From Ethos? Oh God, I don't even remember which one I fucking grabbed from them. It's in my safe. I don't remember which one it is. But who else did I say? I believe I have the blueberry bubblegum. I want to say it was Humboldt's. I could be wrong. Not sure, but I thought it was from Humboldt. That's one that I have growing on the veg tent right now. It was the only one that it popped. I had like 3 of them. She's big though. She's growing real big. I ended up taking like 4 inches off the top of her. And then I put that in a cloner. And then I took the 2 branches and I came up and I teed her off. So I allowed all the bottom growth to try to come up. She just was the one to just keep going taller. Down with you.
So is it rec there in Mass or is it medical? I forget.
It's both recreational and medical. Yep. Like I said, I could just walk right into a dispensary as long as I got my ID. Walk in and be like, I want this, this, and this. But our tax is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Fucking 45% or something like that. It's wild. Like $100, like $40 is extra as tax. Outrageous. Oh, and then if you use a debit card, it's another $3 fee.
Damn. Tax.
Like,
Holy
if
shit.
they don't punch you hard enough, oh wait, we got another one coming in from the left.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why everybody should be growing their own over there, man. So, do you have a favorite? I know Brandon Family Farms over there, but do you have a local supplier that you can go get seeds from? I mean,
I have a like Grow Supplies. I've got one that's real local to me right now. They're okay. They're kind of overpriced. But I do have one that's out of state in New Hampshire. That I go to where it's tax free. That's where I go with all my soils. That's where I go grab nutrients if I need it. But I'm no longer going to be ordering nutrients. I mean, I'm going to be ordering nutrients from now on because you can only get Floraflex online. So. But yeah, there's a place called Natural Roots.
Is there any events coming up in their Mass area anytime soon?
What's that?
there any events coming up over there?
No, there was a bean con, but I didn't catch that till later. I guess it was out in Orange, Mass. I guess it was some kind of breeder, kind of like a hemp fest, I think. But you needed to buy tickets and register, I guess. So. Maybe next time, but no concerts yet. It's just finally starting to really open up. They're allowing like 50% capacity now. They're promising by May 29th, everything should be 100% open. But we'll see.
That'd be pretty awesome, man. I can't wait for things to get back on.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to it, back to normal.
Yeah, there's a pretty good cannabis community here in Michigan, and I can't wait for it to those events to start to open up, man. There's already been a couple, but man, there's hopefully a lot this summer.
Yeah. Pop up like little shops left and right.
Some of the different ones this year, man. I think there's going to be more of like camping events. I think here in Michigan, more private like campground events.
Now, what are your laws? What are you guys allowed to do? Like, is everything's fair game?
Well, if recreational, you can have 12 plants per household.
Okay.
And it's really fucked up, the laws. Because I don't necessarily fuck around with it, right? Because you have to keep it in whole another portion. You know what I mean? You can't mix the medical and the recreational. I'm a medical grower, so I can't mix the two. So, but that's fucked because 12 plants per household, whatever you can pretty much prove you produce on the rec side, say if you've taken them 12 plants and you can pretty much prove or whatever, you produce 25 pounds. You know what I mean? And you keep it in that area, you can have 25 pounds. Okay? You can't run around with 25 pounds. We're limited to 2 ounces on us per, running around.
Right.
But you're cool with that. Now, I'm a medical grower. I'm allowed 12 plants per patient.
Okay.
5 patients plus myself, 72 plants. But only supposed to have usable 15 ounces at any one time.
Okay. That's awesome.
Forever.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get some more of the dispensary.
Do you see how fucked up that is? Do you see how fucked up that is? What I just said.
Yeah.
Where you call it recreational, have all you want, smoke all you want, call it medicine. You better not fucking have any more than you should. You know what I mean?
It would take to get a chance.
Very least. It's fucked up like that though. I don't get that.
I grow 9 in flower, and I don't know. I got like 30 in fucking veg, plus another 8 outside.
Nice. I wish we had like more of a square foot type thing. It would make everything a lot easier to keep different cultivars around. You know what I mean? I juggle some, but man, like we're talking, man, with that plant count, no matter what it is, man, it's hard, man. You got to keep moms back. You got to fucking keep things moving. And here it's veg and flower count. there's no separate. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
there's whatever flower, whatever beds, it's that's your limit. So.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm starting to yawn over here, so I think we're gonna call it a night.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on. Very, very much, man. You bought another night, chat another night of hanging out, and appreciate you meeting you, my friend. It's been a good night.
Absolutely. It's been an awesome night. I appreciate you inviting me on here. You know, I appreciate you allowing me to talk about, you know, a little bit about my grow and whatnot. So it's been an honor. I appreciate it.
Well, before you go, man, I'd like to get the soundbite or a soundbite for you. Pretty much would be commercial for this episode. Basically, what I'm looking for, bare minimum, is hey, this is Eagle, and I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle episode 404. You know, you can add whatever you want to it, whatever, make it your own. But that's basically what I'm looking for in your soundbite. And I'm ready anytime you are, my friend.
Hey, I'm here talking shit with Eagle. This is Growth Paradise. How's that?
It's perfect, my friend. Perfect, my friend. Appreciate it. Again, keep that Zoom number for up and coming wormholes. You're more than welcome to jump in on wormholes anytime they're up and running. So don't feel like you need an invite. The invitation is always good.
All right. Thank you,
so
sir.
I appreciate you hanging out, my friend, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Right on. Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Well, this wraps up episode 404. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Give me a few minutes and I will, in fact, fire up the rabbit hole this evening. It's way too early to cancel out on y'all. Hopefully you guys have had a great day. You guys know the deal. Please do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I'm a living, breathing example of it. I'll see you guys in a few. Have a good one.